Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Katie Wismer. I'm an author and an editor. I have 8 books out currently, and we're doing the yearly goals video today. I love making these videos every year. I love being able to look back on them at the end of the year and see how well things line up. You can't quite see him, he's just at a shop, but we have a Mr. Dean right there. Maxine's actually also there, she's just under the covers. Thank you so much to Ana Luisa for sponsoring today's video. Ana Luisa is one of my favorite go-to jewelry companies that not only has super cute pieces, but they are affordable and high quality, and you can feel good about purchasing from them because of how sustainable they are and how much they care about the environment. All of my everyday pieces that you see in my videos are from them. Like I said, they are my go-to, and they're constantly releasing new pieces, so there's always new stuff. Their rings are my favorite. You can see I've got my little mood ring and this thin one that I wear on my middle finger, and then the snake. And then I have a star and a moon one on here, which I actually wear these on my ring finger for a reason. It's based on one of my poems. If you've read my poetry collections and you know which one it is, if you want to leave a comment down below, I'd be pretty thrilled if you knew what I was talking about. My necklace is from them, my earrings are from them. Like I said, basically, if I'm wearing it, it's probably from them. They have an awesome sale going on right now. If you want to check them out, I'll have the link down below in the description, as well as my code that will get you some money off. They're a great idea if you're looking for a last minute gift for Christmas, or if you're missing the window a little bit on that. Valentine's Day is always coming around, or if you've got a birthday or something coming up for like your mom, your sister, your friend, something like that. I have used their pieces as gifts many a times, and people are always really happy with them. If you have any questions about any of my particular pieces and you want the name for them, feel free to ask. Would highly recommend checking them out. I will have all of their info down below in my description. Make sure to check them out before the holiday sale ends if you want to take advantage of that buy one get one 50% off. And without further ado, let's get back into the rest of the video. I'm kind of doing a two-parter with this. In this video, we're talking about the goals, and then I'm also doing a kind of like plan with me for 2023, where I plan out my 2023 writing schedule to try and reach these goals that we're going to be talking about in this video. So I don't know what order they'll be posted in. Once it's available, I'll have it linked down below. So each year I usually like to pick like a word or something that encompasses the focus that I want for the year, the whole vibe of the year, basically. I think I cheated last year and I had 2. If I'm remembering correctly, they were adventure and color, basically, for 2022. I was feeling a little stir crazy after like not leaving my home for 2 years because of the pandemic. I wanted to get out there and try new things, experience new things, and just have some excitement in my life again, basically. Get away from just like the day-to-day stuff, and I definitely think we did a good job of that in 2022. If you've been around for the year, you've seen quite a bit of what we've gotten to do, so that's really exciting. I am pivoting in 2023. That I still want some of that in my life, but that's definitely not going to be my focus for 2023. This coming year, I really want my focus to be on my health. The year before, in 2021, was really about my career, and it was about the books, and it was about growing my career. And this year was more about having fun and experiencing life and getting to travel and meet new people and go new places, and that was really fun. But this year I just really want to focus on my health, both physically, mentally, spiritually, all of the stuff. So I don't really know what word I want for that. I think just health is boring. I don't know, maybe like vitality? It's just when I am focused on other goals, my health is something that tends to fall last, and that can look a couple of different ways. Sometimes it's I've been drinking too much, sometimes it's I'm not getting enough sleep, sometimes it's I haven't been eating well, or I haven't been exercising as much as I usually do. I've been sitting at my screen for too long during the day without taking breaks. I'm self-isolating because I'm working so hard on a deadline, and I'm not socializing. I'm not getting out and seeing the sunlight. It can look a lot of different ways, which is why I really want this kind of holistic approach to wanting to focus on my health this year, because it's not just like what I eat and exercise, because I feel like I do pretty good with those in general. I want it to be like a whole well-rounded year where I take care of myself in all capacities, basically, and have that as my first priority, and then let all of my other goals come after that. Basically just taking care of myself first, because then I think I will be better performing in all of the other areas. So I don't know exactly which word I want to use to describe that. Wellness, maybe. With that said though, the goals that I tend to share on here are more career focused, because I think that's what you guys like to see, because we're always talking about books and publishing over here. Let's jump straight into those. Starting off with the beginning of the year, I'm going to be publishing my 9th book. That sounds really weird. Broken Perfect Lies, which is a romantic suspense standalone. It's a bodyguard romance. It's spicy and it has Hannah Montana vibes. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's coming out, I believe the release date I've settled on is February 20th. But the pre-order isn't up the day that I'm filming this, so I don't know if that's changed. If you want to apply to be an art creator for this book, I'll have that link down below. If you want to sign up to be a part of the cover reveal team to help reveal the cover and spread the word, I would really appreciate it. That link will be down below. So the first goal is just to get that book out there. Obviously, I'm pretty much done with it. I'm wrapping up final line edits, copy edits, adding a few things in here and there. It's going off to my proofreader at the beginning of January. I've been working on this book since January of 2021. Is when I wrote the rough draft, so I am very excited to have this one out in the world. It got put on the back burner with a lot of other projects, just kind of had to be on pause and had to wait for its turn for quite a while, so I am excited for it to come out. And yeah, it's been a while since I've released a contemporary book, since I've been so focused on my Marionettes series, which are all urban fantasy, paranormal kind of stuff. The last time I published contemporary was in March of 2021, so it's been almost a full 2 years now. So I didn't realize that until I just said that. So I'm excited for Broken Perfect Lies to come out in February for sure. Next goal, just going on the publication front, we have Marionette's book 4, Ruthless Ends, coming out September 22nd. So if you want to check out that planning my writing schedule video, I go into my plans for this book specifically and my writing schedule for this one. It'll be book 4, so it's gonna be an interesting writing experience. I don't know, I'm not very stressed about it though. I'm looking forward to it. I don't have as clear of a picture for this book as I did for book 3, but I'm not stressed about that. I'm more kind of like excited to see where the ideas that I do have for this book take me, and we'll see. That makes it sound like I don't know what's gonna happen in this book. I do, but things along the way always surprise me. Next on the book front, I want to get a completed draft of Gracie's book done before the end of this year. Gracie's book, I think I started that in 2021 too, and it just got pushed on the back burner. I think I have like 15,000 words of it written. So that I've actually decided is going to be the first book in a new series. So that one will get a lot more of my focus once the Marionettes series is done. But when I'm taking breaks from Ruthless Ends, like when it's off with my critique partners or when I'm done with the rough draft and I need to get away from it for a little bit, my plan is to pull in Gracie's book and work on it here and there throughout the year. And I would love to just have a completed rough draft, even if it's short and messy. It would just be nice to have a full version of this story done. Gracie's book is another contemporary I'm really looking forward to writing. I've had so much fun writing what I have of this book, and honestly I have probably the clearest outline for this book of any of my projects. Like, I know everything that's going to happen in this book, I just haven't had time to write it with all of my other projects. So Gracie is a character who's introduced in the anti-relationship year, but this book is not going to be like in a series with that book whatsoever. This is the first book in a new series, so kind of like an Easter egg. If you've read the anti-relationship year, you'll recognize Gracie, but you don't have to have read that book. So Gracie's book follows her after she's graduated college, and it's a brother's best friend romance. It's been so fun to work on. Gracie might be my favorite character that I've written from her perspective. Like, her voice and just writing from her point of view is so fun. She's so funny. I think this is going to be my funniest, kind of like lightest and cutest book that I've written. I'm sure there will be some dark tones and dark themes in there because I can't help myself, but most of my books so far have been dark in one way or another, and Gracie's book is just not that way yet. Spam calls. There will be a little bit of it in that book, but it's going to be probably on the lighter side. Next on my list, kind of going back into health and looking after myself, is I want to take more breaks from editing clients during the year. What I tend to do is I take on 2 clients a month, which is definitely cutting back from previous years, but for this past year I do that every single month, and then it's not until like November or December that I finally take off a couple of weeks, or I always take off the second half of December. And so I just like work continuously all year long, and then I'm like, okay, at the end of the year, here's a month off as a treat. So that just leads to me feeling like burnt out and stressed, and by the end of the year I am so sick of working on editing client work, and I don't think I would get that like over it and burnt out of client work if I would just take a couple of smaller breaks in the middle of the year too. So I'm planning it where I'm gonna have a couple of weeks here and there off dispersed throughout the year instead of just working for 10 months straight and then having a little vacation. So we're trying to take off more time. I also have a trip happening in September that I'm really looking forward to. If you've been around for a while, hopefully you didn't forget about this. We're going to Barcelona in September. It's a writing retreat, but it also has some other fun activities. I have a video that explains the whole trip. I'll have it linked down below if you want to sign up to join us. It's going to be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to it. We are going to have some dedicated writing workshop times, but we're also going to be like going wine and olive oil tasting, and we're gonna spend some time on the beach, and we're gonna go kayaking, and we're gonna visit a couple of different cities and go on some tours and stuff. So it's gonna be a really fun trip. I'm doing it with the company Trova Trip. So yeah, if you think you might want to join us, there's still a couple of early bird spots left where you get a discount. And if you think you might want to come, I'm sure booking your plane tickets and stuff this far in advance would be better off than saving it till last minute, depending on where you're flying in from. But yeah, if that sounds like something you might be interested in, I'll have the video that explains it a little bit more in depth linked down below. But I'm really looking forward to that. That's a goal. Go in September. Another goal is I've been thinking about launching a new tier over on my Patreon page. Right now, my page has 3 tiers, and my Patreon page is pay what you can, so no matter how much you pay per month, you get access to everything. But right now my Patreon is very catered towards people who come from my YouTube channel or people who are other authors, basically. And so I kind of want to add in a different branch to Patreon, which is more reader centric, because right now I have the vlog club. They get an extra vlog every month. I have the self-publishing 101 tier where I put up a video about self-publishing. I share like income reports and stuff like that over there. And then I have the chatty club tier, which is a monthly Q&A podcast where people can send in their questions and we answer them in a podcast. So those tend to be like asking for advice on projects or asking for advice on certain parts of the publishing process. So all of the content over there is, you know, a vlog, which is similar to YouTube stuff, and then publishing advice. And so I'm thinking of adding in a new Patreon tier, which is just for like readers of my books, whether that be like they can ask me spoilery questions about the books and I'll answer one every week in a video or something, or like bonus content about my books. I just want to incorporate my readers over there more too, instead of it just being for other authors and for people who watch my YouTube videos, if that makes sense. So that's an idea I'm toying with for 2023. I also need to figure out what the hell I'm doing with my living situation in 2023. If you haven't been around for long, I was originally living near Denver, Colorado. I'm currently in Portland, Oregon, because I decided on a whim that I wanted to move here this year, which has been fantastic. I've been enjoying it, but my lease here is up in April or May, so I need to decide, am I staying here? Am I picking another city that I randomly want to move to? I don't know at this point, so we shall see where the heck we end up in 2023. That rhymed. Another thing on the book front, I've been toying with the idea of kind of dipping my toes into translating my books. That's something that I always just felt like was not possible for me until I went to the Romance Author Mastermind in November. And hearing so many other authors talk about their experience with translations, it kind of just like opened my eyes to, maybe that is something actually to think about more seriously. It's not something I just want to jump into, and it's something I want to really do my homework on and do my research on which market I'm going into and the translators that I'm hiring, and then I'd have to hire a proofreader who also speaks that language. Like, it's going to be a big process and it's going to be a big investment. So it's not top priority right now, and it's not something I'm super prepared to sink a lot of money into, but it is something I'm toying with the idea of. So we'll see if that's something that comes to fruition in 2023 or not. So in sum, with the books, we will definitely be having 2 book releases, Broken Perfect Lies and Ruthless Ends. I feel like there might be a third at some point, just because Broken Perfect Lies is done pretty much, and I'll be releasing at the beginning of the year, and I'll be working on Ruthless Ends throughout the year. But like, with my track record of how many projects I tend to work on and how much I tend to get done, like, one project isn't going to fill all my time in the year. Like, I'll have time to work on other stuff. So if we finish Gracie's book, perhaps that'll come out. I don't really know, because that's gonna be the first book in a new series too. Maybe we'll just start working on book 2 in that series. I don't know if I'm gonna want to wait until I have a couple of books in that series and do more of a quick release with those. I don't really know what the plan is with that series just yet. I'm kind of too focused on the Marionettes to even consider what I'm gonna do with that series. If you care about stuff other than career goals, when it comes to like health stuff, something I'm working on right now is really balancing my hormones. And I've been working on cycle syncing when it comes to what I'm eating and my workouts. I'm really trying to regulate my system by like going to sleep at the same time and waking up at the same time. I've been doing acupressure every day, which I've been really liking. I've been trying to walk more. I work out, but it's easy for, you know, that like 1 hour of my day to be my activity, and then I spend the rest of my day sitting at my desk working. So I'm trying to get better about like walking throughout the day in addition to my workouts. Trying to lower my cortisol levels, which means I am trying so hard to cut back on the caffeine. This is half decaf and it's the only cup of coffee I've told myself I'm allowed to have today, so we're working on that. I'm trying to cut out the energy drinks altogether. I've been really good this year with the amount of alcohol I've been drinking. That was a goal for 2022, was to really cut back, and I didn't drink at all for probably like 9 months of this year. And the only times I have been drinking, it's like when my parents come to visit and they want to go to like a wine tasting, or if I go on a first date and they want to get a drink or something. It's all been like social kind of stuff. I've really cut back on just like casually drinking, and I'm definitely better for it. Trying to get back into being better about strength training. When it comes to exercise in general, I used to be in much better shape than I am now. And I don't mean like the way that I look. I feel like I'm always pretty much the same-ish size. When I was in college, I used to lift weights and I would go to the gym pretty much every single day, and I was just very strong and I just felt good. I'm not particularly enjoying lifting weights at this point in my life, so I'm just kind of experimenting and trying other kinds of workouts. I've really been enjoying Pilates and bar. I've always loved yoga, so I've just kind of been experimenting more with like body weight style workouts and just trying to figure out like what I enjoy right now, because that's my #1 priority when it comes to exercise, is being consistent with it, but also just enjoying what I do. So I would love to see if I'm able to get to that point where I feel as strong as I did when I used to lift weights with doing what I'm doing now, basically. So I'm not like measuring by like how heavy can I lift anymore, it's just how do I feel. I have been so much better about meditation this year, so that's really something that I want to stick with. I notice such a difference when I'm consistent with that. So that is something that I want to keep with. I've been really enjoying ASMR, I've been really enjoying Reiki, so all just that kind of like wellness stuff. I also really enjoyed meeting up with Jesse and Sarah earlier this year for that conference, so I would love to do another kind of like writing retreat meetup with other authors. Again, obviously we have that going on in September, but going to Barcelona I know is not feasible to everyone, so maybe something a little closer to home. My parents have been like, because their house is an Airbnb, they're like, bring people here. So maybe I'll invite some people to go hang out in the mountains for a little writing retreat or something. I don't know, I think that'd be kind of fun. But yeah, overall, I think that's it. I want to, this year I really took a step back from being career focused, and I really didn't, that's why I didn't publish that many books this year. I felt like I needed a break after pushing so hard in 2021. I only had 2 books come out in 2022, one of them being a poetry collection. We had Breakable Things come out in April, and then Bloodless Ties came out in November. So in 2023, there's definitely going to be 2 book releases, both of them being novels this time, with Broken Perfect Lies and Ruthless Ends. Potentially a 3rd book. So although I do really want to focus on my health and feeling balanced and not stressing myself out, I do feel much better rested and like rejuvenated after this break year, and like excited about really diving headfirst back into focusing more on career stuff. So I'm really grateful for that, because that's where I thrive. I like working on my stuff. I like working in general. I like feeling busy and productive and creating and having all of these things to work on. So I'm relieved that I'm like feeling ready to get back to that. I feel like 2023 is going to be a more unpredictable year for me. A lot of the times I can kind of sense like how a year is going to turn out and what I'm going to focus on and how things are going to go. With 2023, I really don't know. It's going to be a play it by ear kind of year, and we're going to go with the flow and we'll just see where it takes us. So if you also are a goal setter, I would love to hear down below in the comments. If you had to choose a word for your year, what are you going to be focusing on in 2023? What goals are you aiming for? Do you have publishing plans? Any of that kind of stuff, I would love to hear about it down below in the comments. I'll have everything that I talked about in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a fantastic 2022. If you have like some highlights, something really cool that happened, or something that you are really proud of accomplishing, I'd love to hear about that too. If you want to check out Ana Luisa, make sure to check down below in the description for them. And other than that, I will just see you guys in our next video very, very soon. Bye. No.